I've been thinking a lot about Stephanie's dilemma, specifically the point that she makes that she can't work because then how would she care for her kids? And what that actually reminded me of is I ran into a similar situation in my family. There were women in my family who needed to work, but they also had to care for the kids. And do you know what they did? They became teachers' assistants. Yeah, because the women in my family faced a similar debacle, right? They had to take care of children and they didn't have the ability to go through a huge 4 year program. They didn't have the qualifications to go out and start being a teacher on their own. So they racked their brains and they thought, what can I do? Teaching assistant. Multiple women in my family who were in a tight spot became teacher's assistants because it allowed them to get a qualification, which they could get help from. They could get grants and things, and a lot of the schools offered training programs that would then put them into the schools where their kids were. So when it was time for their kids to come home at the end of the day, guess what? Mom was off of work too. And when the kids were out during the summer, guess what? Mom was at home too. And it turns out the state of Oregon has this as well. You can become a teacher's assistant. You just need a high school diploma and some training. You don't have to go all the way through a 4 year program. And the pay rates may not be the best, right? This is certainly not an income that one person could use to sustain 5 or 6 kids and a man who plays PlayStation all day, but they're pretty good, right? Pretty good rates for a job. Would seem to be quite helpful if you were in a position that you were living in hotel to hotel to hotel. And I actually went to different college websites in Oregon, and it turns out they have a lot of these. They have a lot of programs that help you get qualified to become a teacher's assistant. And the cost of the program is just a couple $1,000s. What were those subscription fees again? And I even went deeper. I decided to say, well, that's all good and well. They've got the programs, but do the jobs actually exist in Oregon? Like if Stephanie actually used some of her subscription money to get herself a teacher's aide certification, would she even be able to get a job? Yeah, those are all the currently available jobs. That's just the first page of currently available jobs as a teacher's assistant, a teacher's aide. And there's multiple scholarship and government programs that would assist if she wasn't making enough, which, I mean, it looks like the subscription fees would cover a $2,300 program. So it makes me wonder why a job that would put Stephanie in schools on the same schedule as her children is not an option. Why is that not an option? Curiouser and curiouser. I don't know. Maybe there's something else that we don't know, Stephanie, that prevents you from working in a child-friendly job. But there you go. There's an idea. Hopefully you'll look into it.